So, well, let's start off with that one. What's your moneymaker, and which direction should it get taken?
These are the money makers. These are the little guys that make it all happen. Well, I've been getting paid since I was 10. I started playing when I was 8, and well, maybe it might be more like 11.
You know.
And I think a gig paid like $2. I got $2. Played in Sanctified Church. But I'll be 67 this year, day after Christmas. So I think I'm putting in pretty close to 50 some odd years. Well, 57 years. Well, I think that, you know, whenever that whole thing happened when they changed the titles when they started adding labels to music, you know, we were considered an R&B band, you know, rhythm and blues, and so that's the funk thing. My story about what funk is, you know, one morning some kid woke up with a joint in his hand and turned around and was hearing some music on a play and just said, "Oh man, that's funky," you know. And next thing you know, we started calling the music funk, you know. But I mean, before that, you know, before all of the James Brown, you know, the Meters, you know, Booker T and the MGs, we were all R&B bands, you know. Yeah, it's been defined because R&B stayed where R&B was. You know, the artists that were really R&B. You know, I think our music was a little syncopated. You know, so that it was kind of easy to take on that idea that it was funky because it was syncopated. But you know, the R&B artists stayed pretty straight ahead R&B. You know, so that's the reason why now it's two different. It's divided. You know. I think my philosophy is about playing is that you know, even if I'm the leader, even if I'm just happen to be the leader of the organization, which I wasn't today, but then nobody else wanted to be, you know. So I took some liberties. I always thought that my job as a part of the rhythm section is to be as close and related to the drummer as musically possible, and so, you know, I find that's what my job is. You know, as a bass player, I need to be in touch with the drummer, and we need to play together. Now, everybody else on stage, you know, gets to do and go wherever they wish to do because they can do that because myself and the drummer are holding down that pocket that they all need to come climb back in sooner or later. You know, so yeah, so I don't think I have a problem doing that with any kind of band or any kind of organization because I become one with the drummer. Well, I'm not sure if it's a definite answer for that because, you know, they're all, you know, every different genre has they have their own pockets, you know. What I call a pocket is that part of the music that's the most solid, that stays, you know, although everything else is going crazy. The pocket is that part of the music that sits down there and it just sits there, you know. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. I mean, there comes a time when, you know, that could be a name of a song. Wow, there comes a time.
Write that down.
You know, there are times when that the music allows me to do that. And if we're playing in a small setup or a smaller, you know, like a trio kind of setup, then it's good. I mean, it's kind of legal for me to be able to get outside of it because the drummer, you know, I mean, because the drummer is the guardian of the groove. He is the person, you know, that we all have to pay attention to, and so when the drummer is on his one, you know, then we all can, you know, I can get away and go out and play and then come back to the backyard, you know. I don't, you know, that's not probably one of my most favorite songs anymore. You know, I played it for so many years that I don't like it anymore. But it's always an honor to be able to hear the different takes that people walked away from that song. You know, I mean, I've heard it played more wrong than right. But you know, it's like, you know, everybody interprets what they hear, and then I think it's okay for you to reinterpret, you know, old music. You know, I think it's only. I mean, I did. You know, when every now and then when I do play Cissy Strut, you know, I play an arrangement that Russell Baptiste created for Porter Baptiste Stokes Band. You know, it's a power trio. We played Cissy Strut, but Russell, we called it Cissy Got the Blues. We played it like a 12-bar blues, you know, and we played the second lick first and the first lick second, you know, and it was, you know, so that was the only way I can tolerate playing that song, you know, 40 years later.
It's a good problem to have, to have been
playing
for so long, that like one of the most defining funk songs of all time. I'm over that. Yeah. Whatever.
Well, you know, when I play with Zig and Leo, I got to play it the correct way. When I play with Art, I got to play it the correct way. You know, so Funky Meters, Meter Men, or if any of the Meter bands ever, you know, if any one of if the original band get to play again together, you know, I'll play it the way it went. You know, but in the meantime, if I'm on my own, even if I do it in a jam situation, I tell you the guys, like, if we would have played it today, we'd have played Cissy Got the Blues. I would kind of want to see Get On Up. You know, I would like to see, you know, and it's as much as it is in music and in life. You know, I just would like to see more people get involved. You know, so hey man. Turn the TV off, close the computer, and get on up, you know. My good foot, I would think, is probably my left foot, and I believe it's only because it's where one is always at. You know, one is always on my left foot. I think that, you know, if I had a place, an opportunity to just, and not necessarily preach to the world, but just say something that the world should pay attention to, I think, you know, the idea of more me is not. I think it's been taken wrong. I mean, because I believe that if you really take some time to learn who you are and to learn at what part of your life fits around the rest of the world, then it'll be less about me and more about being a part of the rest of the network, you know, because I mean, you know, life is too short, and the idea, the fact that thinking of separating yourself from the rest of the world, that's kind of